Can you heat and cool an entire house with mini splits? Yes, this project that I'm going to show you is where we removed 2 package heat pumps and duct systems, and then we installed 2 multi-zone mini split systems. We've got 9 indoor units and 2 outdoor units. The project turned out great. I learned a lot, which I'm going to show you some of the things I learned in this video. If you're ready to learn, click the like button, subscribe, and smash that bell. You're watching HVAC Tips for Technicians / Homeowners. Let's get started. This is the first unit that we're taking out. It's a 3.5 ton package heat pump, and we're going to put a more efficient modulating inverter heat pump. It's going to be a 4 ton outdoor unit, and we're going to have 5 indoor wall mount air handlers. Used to be a package heat pump setting here, and now it is a 5 zone outdoor unit. So we've got 5 indoor heads connected to this 4 ton outdoor unit. Exciting. You can see the line hide cover. Lots of line hide cover. 48,000 BTU 4 ton unit. One head in the bathroom, another head in the bedroom, another head in the bedroom. Here is another 7,000 BTU wall mount connected to that 4 ton outdoor unit in a bedroom. 18,000 BTU wall mount air handler. So there was a 3.5 ton package heat pump, and this is one side of the house. This is one project. Now I'm going to show you the other side of the house, show you what we're doing over here. This is a 3 ton package heat pump. We're going to be removing this next, and we're going to be putting in a 3 ton 4 zone system. So over there we had the 4 ton 5 zone system. Over here we're taking out the 3 ton. We're putting in a 3 ton 4 zone system. We're going to be removing this mini split here that conditions the upstairs room. We'll be installing 4 systems. We'll have 1 wall mount for upstairs and 3 console units inside. So I'm excited. So first step, tear out the ductwork, the package unit, and then we'll have room to run our line sets, our drains, and I'll show you that as we move along. Excited to start the first system up. We're almost ready. We've got 1 more wall mount air handler that we're finishing the wiring on, and then we'll be ready to start this system up. We didn't want to rip all the ductwork out, and both units, we wanted to do one project at a time. That way the customer doesn't go without heating and cooling. Right now it's pretty chilly outside. So this system has 5 heads. 3 are 7,000 BTU wall mount air handlers. 1 is a 12,000 BTU wall mount air handler. And the last one that we're wiring right now is an 18,000 BTU wall mount air handler. And I'll show you that wall mount air handler in a moment. Breaker is on. Oh, it's got a little code. E108. Okay, no big deal. Error due to repeated address setting when 2 or more devices has the same address within the network. So what do we do now? We just hit the K1. Page number 23, pipe checking operation. K1. Okay. Now we're going to wait. And it's going to hopefully be able to recognize all of our indoor units and not have repeated addresses. Here's the wall for the bathroom. The wall mount air handler is a 7,000 BTU. And I want to show you where we haven't put the hole cover on this yet, but we got the drain going back inside because we don't want water puddling up in this area around the house. So for this one, we go back in, we tie into the plumbing. Pipe check operation has ended and it's successful. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that means that this is labeled 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, we're ready to turn on the wireless remote controllers and operate these. So now I'm going to show the homeowner how to use this system. Now, in the installation manual under adding refrigerant, calculating the quantity of refrigerant to add, if we have less than 164 feet of line set length, then we don't have to add any refrigerant. See, it says chargeless. It says after 164 feet. So more than 164 feet, we will times per foot 0.22. So say we had 200 foot of line set. That means 36 feet times 0.22. Hopefully I'm doing that correctly. But you need to know that, because if you don't know that and you're not keeping up with how much line sets you have, then you may have a system that's not performing correctly because you weren't paying attention. You didn't know how to add refrigerant, how much to add. I just showed you, so now you know. They are all in the heating mode. Heating. Awesome. Warm. All the units are working. Heat. 12,000 BTU unit is heating. Okay. So, first system has been successfully installed and it looks good. Now we'll start the other side of the house. Excellent. I'm headed back to the job to check out the progress. The first week went really well. We installed that 4-ton outdoor unit and those 5 heads. Started on Monday, started it up Friday. Same thing this week, except we've only got 4 heads and a 3-ton outdoor unit, so shouldn't take as long. I'm headed back to the job. The homeowner called and said that some of the units are overheating. And like the bathroom, I think he said it was set for 77 and it's 81 in there. I said, no problem. I've had to reprogram some of these units. It's very easy. I use my computer. And if you don't know how to do that, I've got a video on how to use SNet and then VRF coder to get the option code that you need, so that when in the heating operation, when the equipment reaches the set point and satisfies, that it actually shuts off the fan. That way it doesn't blow. Because some of these units, even though they reach the satisfied temperature, the indoor fan will just blow very lightly instead of full force. But it's still, if the room is up to temperature and it's a well-insulated room, then it's going to get very hot very quick, especially if it's foam. I've got a video on sizing mini splits with foam insulated buildings. Check that out. And also, I've got a new video on members only playlist, and it is called mini split sizing. And I go through and talk about a wide range of applications and sizing mini splits. So I'm on my way. Very nice scenery as I travel to this location. I'll show you a couple things, and then when we get there, I'm going to set up and I'm going to look at our progress on the other install of the 4-zone that we're doing. Back on site. How's it going, Darren?
It's going good, now you know.
Got the mini split that was upstairs taken out, line sets coming down, and I really like what they did with the drain. Look at that. Goes right into the gutter. That is nice. Very nice. So, did we take out the ductwork yet, or are we still waiting on that, Darren?
No, we're starting it right now.
There you go. Are you happy?
Oh, you know it. As soon as that other side don't have metal strapping, I'll be happy.
There you go.
But if it has metal strapping, you may need to stay a little longer.
Why?
Because you'll be the one doing it.
Oh, thanks. Flex duct. They use flex duct for the return pipe, and they used flex duct for the supply lines. So that's nice and efficient in a crawl space where it's not conditioned. What do you think, Willie?
I think this year was a good year for screws because they put them in every 2 inches.
And accordingly, that was enough.
We've been able to store the equipment on site, which is really nice because there was quite a few boxes. These are all console units. That's 3 console units. There's the wall mount for upstairs, and then here is the outdoor unit. And then this is all the line sets. So 3-ton, 36,000 BTU. All right. Here's the Pioneer mini split that was upstairs that we pulled out. So I got my 2-wire cable hooked up to the F1 and F2. And all I got to do is hook to one of the wall mount air handlers. Make sure I know what the model and serial number is. And I'm set up right here with my chair in the bathroom. Now I'm going to write the option code. Okay, so I just wrote all the option codes and we have success. You see download success for all 5 units. Close that out. SNet Pro 2. And there is our total indoor units 5. And I was using VRF coder to get the codes. All right, panel back on. All right, I'm going to show you where we're going to install these indoor units. One unit right here for the kitchen console. This is the dining room. One console right there. And then this is a bedroom. Another console right here. Let me show you upstairs. All right. This is the last indoor unit. This is a wall mount. So 3 consoles and 1 wall mount. It's going to be nice.
Your straps and
Loading up the package unit now. Look at this flex duct. Look at this. Holes and definitely getting an upgrade here. Well, that coal's not too dirty.
clean her out.
Clean her out.
Give her her best shot. How are you doing?
So after roughing in the line sets and line hide cover for that upstairs wall mount air handler, they've got a service access fitting connected to the 3/8 vapor line, and they've got nitrogen. So they'll keep nitrogen on this until they put the flare fittings on and connect it to the outdoor unit. I like that. Unboxing one of the console units. You can see how wide it is, how long it is. It's pretty small. So before I left, the homeowner approached me and said, hey, I don't think that's working. I think it's still going to overheat. And he was right. I went inside, checked the wall mount air handler, and I turned it down below the set point, and it did not shut the fan off. So I've either entered the wrong code or did not reset the equipment properly like I should have. So now I am going to make sure that I put the code in correctly. I'm doing it outside this time. And then I'm going to reset the system and check it and make sure it's right. So look at that VRF coder. Okay, no big deal. Here we go. To do the option coding correctly, when you have more than one unit, you have to know which unit goes to which pipe connection. So for us, we did the 12 up here. We did the 7K, 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 and then we did the 18 right here at the very bottom. We do the largest wall mount on the bottom. So because our larger connections are on the bottom, and that's why. So just a tip for you. Download success for all 5 indoor wall mount air handlers. Let's go check and make sure it worked. All right, so it says it's 69. We're gonna put it on 65. That fan should slow down. Did it shut off completely? Yep, fan shut off completely. Okay. Front cover off of the console. This is the filter. Got a couple tabs, you can pull it right out. That is pretty nice.
The cover just snap on?
Yep, cover just snaps on. There's the drain. There's the piping connections. Here's the back of the console. And this is a 9,000 BTU. We got 3 consoles. They're all 9,000 BTU. Put the unit back together. Looks really good. Computer, drill, Phillips, and my little cord to provide power, just in case there's not an outlet. Okay, I'm gonna get out of here until next week. Pretty nice project. Log house, little log cabin here. Still got the overheating issue. I'm gonna show you what I did. So these are the 5 units. I just finished changing a product code, and I changed the 5 to a 0. You see how this one's still 5? It's going to be 0 here in a moment. And this is taking out the heating compensation because the indoor units were displaying a temperature that was lower than the actual temperature. So they were staying running. So now they will read the actual temperature. Look how that changed. See how that changed? All I did was I clicked on each one of these, and then I changed the 5 right here. I changed this from 5 to 0. Okay? And now I'm reading the correct temperature. I'm going to go ahead and exit this. Room temperature. See, it said 83 here, 82 here, but when you looked at the unit, it didn't say that. So the units were staying running. And I just learned something. Heating compensation. So midway through this project, we actually switched from the console units to a couple wall mounts because during the installation process, we figured out that it wasn't going to be the best option for the certain areas that we were trying to install those console units in. And we didn't want to pinch or bend the line sets or not have enough room for serviceability. So we ended up taking a couple of those consoles that were 9,000 BTUs. We sent those back to the distributor, and they sent us a couple 9,000 wall mounts, and it worked out perfectly. I don't know if you noticed that, but I wanted to tell you that right now so that you know why we installed those wall mounts instead of those consoles. Ready to start up the other multi-zone mini split system. Got 4 indoor heads. 3-ton line hide cover, looking good. Okay, got the SNet tool and SNet Pro software connected to the F1 and F2. We're in pipe check operation. It says operation mode, check pipe. Got 4 total indoor units, capacity sum for the indoors, and 1 outdoor unit. Wall mount in the kitchen area. Wall mount in the living room area. Console in the bedroom. And we've got 1 more unit. And that is upstairs. All right. Ready to start them up. All the units are set on 70. They're all heating. Make sure I have my model numbers. This one's the only one that's different. Make sure I got them all. That way I can option code. Go ahead and do the thermal off, fan off. And then also I'm going to remove that compensation, that 5-degree compensation. So this is a CNH09, the JDB. I think it's excellent when this heats. It blows heat out of the bottom grill and the top. Heating on 70. Got to keep this vane this way. Can't have this be an obstruction. So I'm going to keep this vane up. So we're operating in the heating mode. We've got 4 indoor units. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3. Got to make sure you know exactly which indoor unit goes to which pipe connection so that when you option code, when you pick the address, whether it's 0, 1, 2, 3, you're option coding the correct unit. All right, time to open up the computer. Type my password in. Samsung. Okay, we're in heat mode. Room temperature, it says, is 77 degrees, 76 degrees. And none of those rooms are that temperature. And that's the reason I'm option coding, getting rid of that 5-degree compensation. And the customers already told me they're not very impressed. They're not happy with the fact that, you know, I'm having to go in and do this, and that the indoor wall mount air handlers are reading a temperature that is 5 degrees higher than it actually supposed to be in there, or it is in there. So for me, I've got the 2 9s on the top pipe connections. Then the third one is the console, and then the fourth and last is the 1-ton 12,000 BTU head that's upstairs. So now that I know exactly what I got, I'm gonna get on VRF Coder and get the option codes that I need. You will see. Oh, fail to change download mode. Fail to change download mode. Uh-oh, got a little problem. So, fan off during thermo off. I just option coded the 2 9s, which is address 0 and 1, and then the 12, which is 0, 3. You can see it says download success. If you don't have success and it says fail, you need to make sure that all the units are off in the off position. You may need to disconnect and then reconnect with your SNet Pro 2 software. And also, you can see where this says 5 here, right? Okay, when I do my option code, I'm taking and I'm putting a 0 there because that is heating compensation. You do not want your indoor units to read a temperature that is higher than what it actually is in the room. So I'm making that 0, and I want to make sure that changes, because if it doesn't, then I'm going to re-option code. Okay, so you can see how the product code has changed now. You see how it no longer says 5 right there after the 2, it says 0. Now this option code is the only one I'm unfamiliar with. I did not find it in VRF Coder, and I put in a call to Samsung, and I'm caller number 61 today. So yay! Pretty happy with this project so far. Now we have efficient heat pumps. Before we had a package unit here and a package unit over on the other side. Now we have 2 multi-zone mini split systems, and instead of having 2 double pole breakers for those package units, I think we had a 60 and a 40 for over here. Now we just have a 30. And over there, I think we had a 60 and a 50. And over there, we have a 40. So a 40 amp breaker and a 30 amp breaker. We've got 100 amps less. So we should be having a very good electric bill now. Just got off the phone with Samsung tech support, and you can see download success for that console. And I'll tell you, all that I changed was I changed that. There was a FF right there. There was a 193FF, and I changed it to 2. So now we're in good shape. I'm going to disconnect everything and make sure that customer's happy. Now, instead of having all that duct work in the way, no more duct work. Saved a lot of room. All we have is line sets. Then we built a cover for the hole where the ductwork went from the package unit in the crawl space. Insulated sheet of metal, and it's hemmed. That way it's not sharp. Used the anchor kit. Okay, job is complete. I'm going to turn them all on. About 68. Perfect. Unit for the kitchen area. And I'm going to keep this vane pointed that way. That way the air goes into the kitchen. And I'll show you how we did the line sets on this one. Inside the pantry, you can see, look, hole cover. Then goes straight down through the floor. Hidden. Last unit. All right. That's 4 indoor units and 1 outdoor unit. Okay. Another look at the 4-ton on the other side of the house. Look at that line hide cover. Man, that looks good. Look at that. Now had to get 2 90s for the gutter here because we had to take that gutter off to get the line hide cover on. I'm going to get 2 90s so we can come out and go right beside it with the downspout. Okay, we're pretty much done with this job. Redoing the downspout this morning. Got a couple 90s. That's 3" by 4". Make sure you know the difference. There's 2" by 3" fittings and there's 3" by 4" fittings. This is the larger. So he's got the crimping tool, crimping that piece so he can insert it inside this one. Excellent. Putting this piece of line hide cover on, finishing up the job. This is a inside 90. You've got the sweeping 90s and then you got these shorter 90s. Putting foam inside the line hide cover. We don't want wasp nests. We don't want mice and other critters going inside and maybe chewing through the wires later on. So this is what we're doing here. And then also, just in case I didn't show you, on this side where the 4-ton was installed, we've got a piece of sheet metal that's insulated, hemmed on the edges, moly kit, and then silicone. So got the filler plates to cover the holes where we took out those other breakers. And then here's the other breaker box. Got those filler plates in there. So you can see that was for the 10 kilowatt. So we had a 60 amp breaker there. Back in place. Line hide cover for the bathroom. That looks a lot better. The homeowner downloaded the SmartThings app and was able to use the Wi-Fi that was built in all the wall mount air handlers to be able to control them with the SmartThings app. The only unit that doesn't have the built-in Wi-Fi capability is the console. So I ordered a Wi-Fi kit and it's easy to install, and I'm going to show you that in this video, how to install that kit, so that if you do have a console, then you can use this Wi-Fi kit so that you can use the SmartThings app and control all of those units. Now the console is the only unit that doesn't have Wi-Fi, so I'm installing the MIM H05UN. Looks like this right here, and I'm connecting it to this unit. And how do you take this unit apart? It's easy. You got 1, 2, 3, 4 screws, okay? Phillips screws, and then this front cover will come right off, okay? So you got to take this off as well, but this just pops in. So, and that's the front cover piece. Okay, let me get this out of the way and then show you how to hook up this Wi-Fi adapter. Now, if you take the front cover off of this Wi-Fi kit here, you've got the connections. You've got the F1 and F2 communication and the V1 and V2, which is the power for this thing. Now, if your indoor unit doesn't have V1 and V2 terminals, then what you're going to do is you're going to use the white and black plug. Okay, I'm going to cut this, and then I'm going to use some of the communication cable that I brought, the 2-wire communication cable, to hook from this right here to my little kit, my little module. So I'm going to use F1 and F2, and then I'm going to use this white and black wire that goes to this plug, which is V1 and V2. And you can actually see in the manual here, for indoor units without V1 and V2 connections terminals, use the external control line 2 for sub PBA inside the indoor unit for 12 volts DC power supply. Now, what you can do to verify this is you can look at the schematic, and you're going to see, I'm going to show you, it says right here, see, 12 volts DC, CN32. Okay, that's going to be our 12 volts. So you can see that right there. Boop. Okay, now I'm probably going to mount this like right here. Got the wires connected here, and I've got some material, some gasket material that I put behind this to leave enough room so that I could route my wires through and not smash them when I mount this to the wall. So using just some gasket material. I carry this with me for other things. Red rubber sheet packing. You could probably use a piece of wood, but I had this with me, so I'm routing the wires through there, and then I'll put this on the wall. I gotta finish mounting it though. Wi-Fi kit is mounted on the wall. We've got an AP and a reset button. We got enough room that we can click those if we need to. There was some hardware that was sent with this Wi-Fi kit, which makes the job way more professional. You got some wire ties, you got some hole clamps, and then you had these spades. So I've already connected the F1 and F2, and then I used a couple really small blue wire nuts for the V1 and V2. So we're in good shape now. And I notched the bottom of the panel. That way I can put it all back together and it'll set flush. Could not figure out why it was not going flush, you know, and could not get this cover back on flush. And this was the issue. This is a piece of packing material they put in between this grid and the coil so that you don't have damage to the coil, which is a good idea, but make sure you take this out so that you can get this to meet up flush. I kept pressing it in, it kept pressing back out, and then I found this. So, whew. Cover's back together on the unit. Wi-Fi kit is installed. And here is the number of the kit, just in case you want that. This information is on samsunghvac.com under the downloads, under the technical documents. Now the customer can use the SmartThings app to control this console with that Wi-Fi kit. Just learned something about the V1 and the V2, the 12 volts. So you have a 4-wire plug and you have a 2-wire plug, which is the white and the black. I've already cut the plug off. I'm using the black wire, and you see where this is cut? I'm using the orange wire to provide my 12 volts. So the black wire, the orange wire is V1, the black wire is V2. And you'll need to cut both of those plugs, the 2-wire and the 4-wire. Something I also learned is that using this Wi-Fi kit, you can use the 5G, okay, that band. Now with the wall mount air handlers Wi-Fi, you can use the 2G, but this one you can use the 2G or the 5G. And some people say they like the wall mount air handlers better with that Wi-Fi, with the 2G, because you can do different things on the app than you can using this Wi-Fi kit. Jackson and Barbara. Jackson's driving Miss Barbara around. That's awesome. Hope you enjoyed today's video. Hope you learned something. Let me know if you did learn something, what it was down in the comments. If you don't have a question, let me know who you are and where you are from. If you do have a question, definitely ask the question in the comments, because questions can lead to content. Your questions give me ideas for new content. So thank you so much to all of the viewers, all the members, all the subscribers. Thank you so much. I really appreciate all of you. If you want to check out my members only videos like mini split sizing, check that out. If you need help with your project, you need tech support, definitely join, become a member. Let me know that you did join. If you did join, and I will give you my email, and that'll lead to contact with me. You've been watching HVAC Tips for Technicians / Homeowners. I'm Tad, and I'll keep you cool if you let me.